Many of you who watch this channel know about the keto diet, and you are convinced that it, along with intermittent fasting, are powerful weapons in overcoming diabetes. And I'm convinced of that as well. And most people who do keto incorporate meat as a fairly substantial part of their diet, since meat provides protein and certain other nutrients and vitamins, and has very little effect on blood sugar. But what about the vegetarians? Could you eat vegetarian and still keep your blood sugar under control? In today's video, Benedicta and I are going to go vegetarian for one day and see if we can still keep our carbs and our glucose low. Well, welcome back to Beat Diabetes once again.
Thanks a lot, Dennis. I'm glad to be here.
Well, your fans have missed you. You know,
I miss them too.
I had a carnivore day a couple of weeks ago where I ate all meat and eggs.
Right.
And I wanted you to be in it, but you didn't like that liver.
I wanted to be there, y'all. He wanted to feed me liver.
Well, let's get the whole story straight, folks. There was two issues. Number one, she didn't like liver, and I was determined to put liver in because liver is very nutritious. If you're just going to eat hamburger and steak, you're not going to get much nutrition from carnivore. Yeah. So the liver was was symbolic of the idea that you got to get some kind of nutrition if you're going to eat carnivore, and organ meats will do that. They'll give you quite a bit of nutrition.
Okay.
The other issue is, at the very last moment, somebody changed her mind and said, well, I think I might want to be in it. But let me tell you a little secret.
Really?
This lady takes forever to get ready before she's going to be on camera. And now, I will admit the final product makes it well worth any amount of time you have to take. But she came to me and I was about ready to start and says, well, I think I might want to be in it. And I'm like, oh, there's no way you could be ready. You know, I'd have to wait. Well, I won't say how long I'd have to wait, but it would be a good long while.
Long while. I have my own makeup artist.
Yeah, well, we can't afford to have a makeup artist come in and do it.
Maybe we should try to afford one so that they will go quickly. Okay, doing your makeup today, Benedicta, sharp, they're done. Okay, we're taping. But if I'm doing it myself, put the first makeup, it looks terrible, clean up, go for the second one.
Of course, me with my youthful good looks, I can be ready in about 10 minutes, but somebody has to work a little bit harder. So
I have to work a little hard to get a good look, and then he's so good looking and then doesn't need any makeup.
Hardly anything.
No.
Now, today is what day? Well, today is Wednesday. For us, when they watch it, it might be Friday or Saturday. But for us, it's not only Wednesday. It is what day?
It is testing day.
Vegetarian day.
Vegetarian testing day.
This is vegetarian day, folks. We're going to go through a whole day of eating no meat, which is unusual for me. Sometimes Ben will do that. You'll have salads, throughout the day.
Yeah, no meat in it.
But I hardly ever go a day without meat. Today I will. We're going to answer the question. What do you think?
Question number one.
The question is, can you do vegetarian and keep the carbs low and the glucose low? Can it be done?
I don't really know, but since we are testing today, we shall find out.
We are going to find out, and most of our foods I'm really not too worried about. I think we'll have no problem. There's one that's a little iffy, and that's our lunch meal.
Lunch.
We'll get back to that. Benedicta made a marvelous soup, but
it's to die for.
But it is going to be the most iffy meal. So if we can get through lunch without too high a glucose, I think we'll coast on into supper or dinner. And we'll be fine. Today, what are we eating?
This morning, we're eating cereal.
Well, yeah, it's kind of our replacement for cereal. It's a chia seed pudding, probably is the more official name, but I like to think of it as cereal. And we've got nuts in there. We've got blueberries. Yeah. We've got chia seeds. We do have a little bit of heavy cream, and we diluted it with water. And you weren't satisfied this morning when you looked at it. We did it last night.
I added more water.
So she added more water. So it looks like she's eating more than I am. But
it's the same measurement.
Yeah, it's the same measurement. It's just that she added more water to make it a little bit more liquidy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just going to eat it as is. So we tested ourselves before, and lo and behold, I beat you for our morning fasting glucose.
Yeah, he's so happy about this. Oh, God help me, Lord. I don't know what happened. What did I eat last night?
Now, I did have one advantage.
What?
I did the treadmill this morning while you were busy with your makeup and all that stuff. And typically when you do light exercise, it can bring your numbers down a little bit.
Yeah, I've not done my exercise yet.
So you had a
100.
100
Oh,
even.
my goodness.
Mine was 91, right?
Yeah, 91.
91. So pretty happy with that as a fasting glucose number. We haven't eaten anything today. We're about to. So we will eat our meal. We'll test after 1 hour. And then we'll come back just before lunch and share what we're having for lunch.
And the mystery here is like, this is my first time of eating chia seed.
That's right. This is Chia has watched me eat this many times.
I never wanted it at all.
Somehow zero curiosity about what it's like, what it tastes like. She just watches and
looking at it, I'm like, no.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yep.
So right here on camera, take a bite of that. Yes.
Then you're gonna make me do this on camera.
Take a bite and tell us what you think.
Yeah, it looks so good, especially when the nuts. I'm gonna go for the nuts.
Go for the nuts. Give it a shot.
Okay, here you go. Yeah.
All right.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I think it's good. Now, we did add a couple of packets of Truvia to sweeten it up a bit. If you didn't do that, it would be a little bland. So that makes it better. And then we've got a little bit of cheese to kind of finish it up because since this has got the Truvia in it, it's a little bit on the sweet side, and then a little salty cheese at the end kind of balances out. I guess that's what you call a balanced meal. What do you think?
Yeah, balanced meal.
Balanced meal. A lot of nuts and the seeds and the blueberries. The vegetarians would love us for this, but we're trying to make a point. We got a lot of vegetarians that actually watch our channel.
Yeah.
And, we've got nothing against being a vegetarian. It's not our thing, but if that's what you do, we're going to try to show you a way to go through at least one day.
Yeah.
At least one day where you can keep your glucose pretty safe.
Right.
So we'll see you back a little bit before lunch. Well, it's lunchtime, isn't it?
Lunchtime.
What are we having for lunch?
We're having bean soup.
Bean soup. Go ahead.
And some peanut butter with celery.
Some peanut butter with celery. I think you cannot be from Nigeria and not know how to cook soup. Am I right?
No.
Nigeria is the land of soup.
Land of soup.
They cook all kinds of soup, and you make some outstanding soups here.
Outstanding, I say.
We went to the grocery store, and I had intended to get lentil soup.
Yeah.
Because in the past, I have found that lentils have often, the packages I would look at would have like 11 grams of fiber. With beans, the more fiber, the better, because that's not going to affect your blood sugar much. But when I looked at the package of beans that was available at that particular store, it was like 4 grams.
Okay.
And it's like, what happened to lentils? Have they suddenly wimped out and now they don't have much fiber? So we got the small red beans instead.
Is it a miscalculation?
And the red beans have a lot more fiber. I forget, it was about 10 or 11 grams per serving, however they do the serving.
Yeah.
So, bean soup, peanut butter, celery.
Yeah.
We're being good vegetarians.
Vegetarian, as I said.
Here's a question for you.
Question number 1.
Somebody comes up to you with a sneer on their face, and you can tell almost immediately they don't seem to like you too much. Now, I don't know how anybody could be that way.
Everybody loves me.
But they call you a name.
Those people, I love them too.
They say, you're nothing but a lacto-ovo-vegetarian. What would you think about that?
Well,
Would
God
you slap
gave
them?
us vegetables to eat, so...
A lacto-ovo, not just any vegetarian, a lacto-ovo vegetarian.
I'll be like, thank the Lord for all the veggies on the farm and all over the place.
Here's the interesting thing. Vegetarians come in many different shapes, sizes, and styles. And there are some vegetarians that would never eat an egg. There's others that will eat eggs. Some will not eat dairy. Others will eat dairy.
Okay.
So I got this off the internet. A lacto-vegetarian means you don't eat eggs or any food that would contain as well as you don't eat meat. An ovo-vegetarian means you exclude dairy products, but you allow eggs.
Oh.
But a lacto-ovo-vegetarian means you don't allow any meat or anything like that, but also you do allow dairy and you do allow eggs.
Okay.
So I guess today we're being lacto-ovo-vegetarians. We're pretty, or you might say liberal vegetarians, because anything that's on meat we figure is fair game. We had some cream in as we made our milk for the cereal this morning.
Yeah, just a little tiny.
And now we've got the beans, we've got peanut butter, we've got celery. So we are going to have a marvelous lunch.
Marvelous lunch.
But we're not going to test it 1 hour. We're going to test at 1.5 hours. Why is that, you say? Say, why is that?
Why is that?
Good question. I'm glad you asked.
You say? Okay, not like that. Why is that?
Why is that? Well, that's an outstanding question. I want to compliment you on that amazing question.
Good.
The reason we would test later with beans is they break down more slowly in your body, and they tend to cause a blood sugar peak later. If you've watched my videos, you know I often say that I tend to peak at about 1 hour.
Yes.
But with certain foods like beans, like pasta sometimes, I will peak later. So to make sure we try to catch our peak, we'll test it 1.5 hours rather than 1 hour.
Is that right?
And we'll see just how far it drives us. Now, I said before, this is the most iffy food, these beans.
Yeah.
Now, beans are a type of starch. If you have to eat starch, better to eat beans than it would be to eat bread, potatoes, rice. They're going to be a little gentler with blood sugar, but they are still somewhat iffy. They're a bit problematic. We don't have a big monster bowl of beans, so that's going to help.
Yeah.
We will eat our meal, test it 1.5 hours. We'll see you around dinner time. For dinner, Benedicta made an amazing salad. She used a lot of different vegetables as well as nuts and raspberries to make this masterpiece. Actually, she made the salad while I was taking an afternoon nap, and she set up a camera to record herself demonstrating the ingredients. She got stuck at one point when she couldn't think of the word broccoli.
I really like it too much, but I had to add it to the meal, and this is it. So it is called oh dear, what is your name, huh?
After making 2 beautiful plates of salad for us, Benedicta being Benedicta, she had to do her happy dance. She's been doing that happy dance ever since I've known her, and I never get tired of seeing it. I'm always happy when my wife is happy. Well, that was a great dinner, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
We had a marvelous salad.
Marvelous.
I don't know if I've ever had a salad that had so many ingredients as that salad did.
Yeah, that's Benedicta's special salad.
You know, when I was a kid, I was the pickiest eater you could ever imagine.
Okay.
And I hated vegetables, almost all vegetables.
Oh.
There's so many things I didn't like. And about the only thing
Were you that kind of kid?
Oh, I was that kind of kid. So my mom was desperate to get me to eat vegetables or eat salads. Well, I didn't want salads with broccoli and cauliflower and all these kind of things. So you know what my salad was as a kid? Some lettuce leaves and some French dressing, which is a highly sugarized dressing.
Okay.
So lettuce and French dressing, that was it. Not a single vegetable beside that. But your salad that you made was awesome.
Yes!
It had nuts, like 2 or 3 different kinds of nuts. It had raspberries, which you weren't too crazy about. You gave some of yours to me.
Yeah, I can eat it. You know, sometimes I use strawberries and blueberries.
You like other berries better than the raspberries. What else did it have in it?
I had some mushrooms.
Green peppers.
And all kinds of things in there.
Just beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
And wonderful to taste.
Colorful.
So let's get to our scores. Right. We can start out by the summary of saying we didn't do too bad today, did we?
No.
Not bad at all. Go ahead and read your pre-meal and your post-meal for the 3 meals that we enjoyed today.
Well, For breakfast, I started with 100, which wasn't that great. I score lower than that sometimes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then after the meal, breakfast, which was the chia seed, I scored 80.
Yeah,
which was great.
Quite a drop. Mm-hmm. Okay, for lunch, which was the beans and the peanut butter on celery.
Right. My pre-meal was 90.
Okay.
And then after the meal, I scored 105.
Yeah, that was at the 1.5 hour mark. We took a little more time before testing because of the beans. So you peaked at 105, which is not bad at all. All right, let's talk about dinner, that salad we were talking about.
The great salad.
The great salad. The Benedicta's great salad.
Uh-huh. So after before the salad, I was 91.
Okay.
And then after the salad, I was 106.
106. Mm-hmm. So out of those scores, well, number one, you did very well.
Very well.
You didn't even get into the one teens. You know, you weren't even at that point. So your numbers were great.
Thanks.
Any particular thing surprised you or did you find interesting out of all those scores?
Well, the breakfast is a standout for me because when I ate that, I didn't know what I was gonna get because I've not eaten it before. So after eating it, I was like surprised how my score went from 100 to 80.
Yeah, it went down.
Yeah,
and not just down by a point or two. It dropped 20 whole points.
20 whole points.
You know, normally when you eat a meal, you expect your blood sugar will rise. That's the normal thing. You eat a meal, your blood sugar rises. Eat a meal, blood sugar rises. You ate a meal, and it was a filling meal, right? I mean, we had a couple little slices of cheese. We had the chia seed pudding with the nuts in it and some blueberries. Yeah. And it went down 20 points. 20. What's going on here?
I think my body loved the chia seed. And that was the first time, and I'm giving it thumb up. 1 thumb up, 2 thumbs up.
Okay. Well, you know what I tend to think, I don't even know if this is right or not, but I tend to think sometimes your pancreas gets a little bit tricked.
Okay.
And you ate this big meal, you know, relatively big meal. Your pancreas said, oh boy, Benedicta's having breakfast again. I better pump out some insulin. But there wasn't very many carbs to deal with.
No.
And what carbs there were in that were slow-acting carbs.
Right.
And slow-dissolving nuts and things. So that as a result, the increase your pancreas insulin your pancreas put out just drove it down rather than having it go up.
Okay.
So outstanding. Start out at 100 and end up at 80.
Outstanding.
Okay, let's look at my scores. Breakfast of the chia seed pre-meal was 91. 1 hour post-meal, 91. So absolutely no movement at all. And whenever that can happen, especially when you're staying under 100, you just can't beat that with a stick. Lunch was the one I was most worried about. Yeah. The beans. I wasn't worried about the peanut butter and the celery. I've had that enough, and I know that's not going to have many carbs to it.
Yes.
Granted, that peanut butter was store-bought peanut butter, had a little bit of added sugar, but not much. But the beans, that was another story. I knew that it had more carbs than anything else we were going to eat today.
Okay.
I started out at 85, which is a great number for me. Post-meal, 112. That was 1.5 hour. Post-meal, 112. I was well satisfied with that.
Yeah.
I knew it would rise. I was hoping it wouldn't rise too much. Now, we did have a small bowl. It wasn't a huge big bowl of soup, but we got full between the soup and the peanut butter. For dinner, the big salad, it wasn't just a nice, good tasting salad. It was a big salad. Yeah. 104, I had drifted up slightly. I think those beans had been working on me all afternoon. You know, beans are slow to dissolve.
Right.
So I was still kind of suffering the effects of the beans a little bit. But post-meal, 106 is like essentially no rise at all. 2 points if you want to be technical. So
was it because both of us ate the same meal? I mean, we've been eating the same meal. But I got 106.
Yeah,
you got 106.
We both tied for our peak at the end. So I was trying to keep up with you. In some ways, I was actually better on a couple of the pre-meal tests.
I don't know about that.
On the post-meal test, you beat me each time.
Beat him?
So, we tied at the final one. So We did it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did it.
We absolutely had a vegetarian day.
Vegetarian day.
And we didn't, our blood sugar, the very highest number either of us scored was my 112
Yes.
for a lunch.
Yes.
But 112 for a peak of blood sugar?
Not too bad.
Not bad at all from a guy that probably should be a raging diabetic with scores in the 200s, 300s.
Yes.
I honestly believe that's the way I would be if I ate the way so many Americans eat. But I don't eat that way. And by these things, I keep my blood sugar under control. We wanted to show you can do it with a vegetarian diet. Let me ask you this. Suppose instead of the foods we chose, which we deliberately chose mostly low carb, suppose for breakfast, for example, we had big old plate of hash brown potatoes and then some toast. Do you think we would have had the same scores? Think you would have dropped your 20 points?
So. No,
not at all. Mm-mm. Suppose for lunch we had rice and a bunch of, let's say, 2 bananas and a big mound of rice. Would we have done as well?
No, it wouldn't have been the same.
And you could go on and on. The point we're making here is you have more control than you think you do. What you put in your mouth, and there's nobody making you do it. You know, you're not a little kid anymore where mama forces you to eat your vegetables or whatever.
Clean your plate.
You decide what you're going to put in your mouth, and what you decide is going to make a huge difference in what numbers show up.
Yes.
We went to a vegetarian day, and we chose things we didn't think were going to be much of a problem. Lo and behold, they were not much of a problem at all. So, pretty cool, huh?
Pretty cool. Does that make us vegetarians now?
I don't think so. We are not vegetarians.
But we tried it.
But we wanted to show it is possible.
It's not bad. We can do it again.
And, you know, I didn't feel like I was being somehow punished with the meals that we ate.
No, we were satisfied.
They were tasty. They were good.
Yes.
And I was filled with those meals.
Me too.
I wasn't going through this day just all haggard and weak and, oh, man, I wish I could eat more.
Yeah, no.
No, it was a good day. And
it was like everyday meal.
Yeah. I mean, when you stop and look back, you say, wait a minute, there was no meat involved. But that's
no
okay.
Meat.
Now, I'm not saying meat doesn't have its purpose.
No meat, no fish.
Right, no meat, no fish. I'm not saying meat doesn't have a purpose, and I think there are benefits from eating meat. So I'm not saying that. But I am saying if that's your thing, to be a vegetarian, if for whatever reasons, religious reasons, or your conscience, or whatever you think you're saving the planet, it's your decision, but you can do it. It's a little bit harder. There's not quite as many choices, but you can do it.
Yeah.
So you want to sign out and tell everybody if you like this video, be sure and like it and give it the thumbs up, and then tell them to subscribe. Go ahead and give them the spiel that I always say at the end.
Okay. If you like this video, please give us thumbs up and subscribe for us, and give us good comments below and tell us how much you love it. You know. If you want to try it, you can, but you just choose the vegetables that you like. You know, what we chose may be, you know, a little too much for you, or you like it. Just tell us how much, you know, you love the video. We love you today, and
that's it. God bless. Except for the last part, you did great, my love. Give me 5. Bam. See you next time.